Hey, traders. Just wanted to look at Bitcoin. Haven't done a steady video on this since, I don't even know, I think last week sometime. And wow, look how things played out, right? Since the last time we spoke here, not live. TA was respected, you could definitely say. I'm just looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour right now because, as you can see, the downsloping structure, the 121-day correction, has been broken. We broke it violently, some of the highest amounts of volume we've ever seen on the 4-hour. It was wild. It was wild, and I was out of town for all of it. But that's okay. Because I was out of town, I had to be up really early, really early, and was able to see what was happening. All right, with this sell-off, we were beginning to bullishly engulf. This was early Friday morning. At the same time, what we anticipated, right? What we thought could happen, did happen. And if you've watched any static video, any live stream, you know the exact same scenario I've had over and over and over. It's not really been touched at all. Is this idea right here, where you're in a wedge. We're thinking about the hypothetical divergence that could develop. We're thinking about the slightly lower low, the shortening of the thrust. We're thinking about, from your previous low to high, a 62% retrace, your golden retrace, a very common level that after you have an impulse up and you correct, you go through a correction, you commonly come to levels like this. These are areas of value for big market participants that helped propagate this price up. They see a sale on Bitcoin. You know, it's like being on Amazon. Oh my God, there's a 61% sale on Bitcoin after a amazing run up for 6 months. Okay, value areas. Definitely value areas because of the exhaustion that was setting in for the sellers. Look at this. You know, it was like, had the idea that we'd get something like this, but it ended up only looking in the end like this. But that's not what got me. What got me was in the morning on Friday. Let me show you exactly what it looked like and try to scale it so you can see. Right here. This is the trade setup. So, we were beginning to already wane on negative momentum. The RSI divergence was already pivoting. All right, so it was like maturing divergence so fast at the 618, and we were beginning to bullishly engulf, and that really got me. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be a chance here. Okay, so we're gonna take it, and that was like the thought process I had in the morning, right? So it was the same wedge we just looked at, right? And then little did I know that it was just gonna go up and hit two targets pretty much, right? The 382 and the 50%. 50% was pretty much the climax. I think we were off it, the literal number, by like $30 or something before it pulled back. But I don't know if this is over. I don't think this is over for Bitcoin at all. I think this is maybe just the beginning. I mean, this is exactly typical behavior after a correction. Oh, and before the correction is the initial impulse, right? So this impulse up, we have a correction tied, bound to this impulse. So now that we're out, that's step one, right? We always talk about step one is breaking out of the downsloping geometrical Momo shift trend line. Okay, you did it. You even back tested on the 4-hour, and we'll look at in a second. But the next step, what Bitcoin has to do, and it has not done this yet, and that probably is because you went up 43% in value in less than 24 hours, and you might need some less significant time scales to cool off on the oscillators. And so, what is this number? 99.12. Look left. Here it is. Right. It's an overhead resistance, historical overhead resistance back from May 5th, 2018. Talked about it in the live stream a lot, especially this weekend. And we actually went up today and also tested it and failed before pulling back to 94.27. And now painting a little red, indecision. But again, this may not be done. This impulse may not be finished. But if we can break above that, hold above it long enough, very good sign. Right after that, you're going to have a resistance at like 10,740 or so. You can clearly see it's been a battleground area. Resistances that will also play a role. And so if you can get above these areas, you have to understand the next area of resistance is just going to be 11,290, 11,500, 11,700, right? You've got just a decent amount of resistances. I mean, there's not that many, but they're all going to play a role in what could prevent Bitcoin from going high fast. So, and what I'm saying is, what you really need to do if you're going to reverse the correction and get back in this bullish trend, you need to be consistent in with what you're doing, right? So the next step is like, all right, we broke this resistance, which isn't that big of a deal. We broke this resistance, not too big a deal. But man, we can never get above that 10.7. Back test it, holds, run again, back test, holds. You see it, look what I'm talking about. Every resistance will play a role now. There's a lot of them. So breaking these areas one at a time, then back testing them, regarding them as support when they were once resistance, as how the trend could continue, right? You break all this stuff, they could be off the races. There's very little to no resistance above you at 13K. Like nothing is really here until like 17,000. So this is what you're looking for. I mean, this is what you want. Impulse, 121-day correction, bullish divergence on the MACD and RSI at a 61.8% retrace. Wow, go figure. 61.8% retrace. Extremely important fib node. Why? I mean, because Bitcoin, the way it responds to it, right? From your low to high, 61.8. From your high to low, 61.8 before the correction happened. Are you kidding me? But hey, you know that if you follow me on Twitter or you watch the stream at all. I mean, we've been screaming about that. We were screaming about it the whole way up. Golden retrace. So let's go to the 4 hour, I guess, right? Just take a look, a gander. Sorry, get rid of this. Got a lot of lines now. Sorry, man. But they're all important. They all play their role. They all must be broken. But for now, we're working on, again, 9,900 to 10,000. So, what's so good about the 4 hour is how we can actually see the price action correlate to the trend line that was once resistance, has now been regarded as support. Saturday, we hit it, bullishly engulfed, and then ran up. I mean, from the bullish engulfing candle, 92.72, you ran all the way to 99.39. That's pretty nice. But when you ran up to slightly higher highs than your previous highs, you showed a little bit of bearish divergence. But maybe, just maybe, the bearish divergence is played out now. If you're really in a bull trend, remember, bearish indicators, oscillators, patterns, they should all be less reliable. So we're going to see what we're made of on Bitcoin. If you can stay outside of this long enough, there's a real good chance the major bull trend could continue. And if the divergence hasn't played out, okay, then we'll probably see 89.57 again, right? But eventually, maybe, look, there's some support here at 86.84. You could stay outside of this channel long enough and eventually hit it, right? I mean, that could take a while. That could take a few weeks, couple weeks maybe to get there, if it's to happen. But what I don't know is if this impulse itself is done, right? What if, like, on the daily, if, you close today above 95, 93, which is always possible, I mean, that would be like just a higher high for 4 days in a row. So that means the impulse isn't done. So there's no, I mean, from a candle close on the daily, there's no real retrace yet. It's just been 3 green candles and now 1 candle that's red, that is indecision. All right, so what's kind of happening on the MACD is like a, low on price, much higher low. I mean, you're making, and this could keep building, of course, but it's sellers aren't doing much, but eventually it looks like you could get bullish convergence. And even if this sold off more and you got even more negative momentum than this level, you could end up having hidden bullish divergence, which I think is already occurring on the 60-minute, even though that's not a very significant time scale. 60-minute is like we have hidden bullish divergence and bullish convergence going on at the same time. So you've got a low on price, a higher low with lower levels relative strength, hidden bullish divergence. And then on your MACD, you have a low on price, a higher low on price with higher, That is bullish convergence on the MACD, hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. So, hidden bullish divergence just means impending price action, continuation to the upside. Bullish convergence is just, if it's bullish, then it's business as usual. That's a good thing. That's normally what you're looking for. You don't want to see, you want to see bullish convergence more than anything, I guess, when you're making higher lows. That's always a good sign. But I've seen, bullish convergence just dump too. So, but the context is different. Remember, the impulse, extremely bullish, high volume, would take maybe the same market participants to sell to get this price right back down to where it was. There's a square up way down at like 74.87. But you just gotta really, really love how Bitcoin is respecting a channel we've had plotted for many, many months, man. Had this plotted. I remember being in Austin when we had this plotted. Remember developing this stuff when I was in like New York and New Jersey, dude, this summer. Holy crap. And now we're finally out of it. And it only took 121 days. Wow. All right. So just wanted to debrief you on Bitcoin. Great stuff, man. If you enjoyed the static video, please hit that like button, that bell, that sub. Leave a comment in the description below. I know y'all don't normally, but it'd be cool if you did, if you like me. And again, one thing at a time. You got to break 9,900, 10,000. Then after that's 10,700. Then after that's 11,900. You get it one at a time. Break it, back test it, hold it, run again. So the bullish trend, yes, this bullish trend can continue. I'll leave you with this. This bullish trend can continue. Log scale, bottom, demand line, kind of head faked out and broke to the upside. I know on like maybe Bitfinex or Coinbase, you never even fell out at all. It was perfect. So gotta love it, man. Divergence. At a critical upsloping support, at a horizontal line support, at the low to high, 61.8% retrace. Confluence like crazy right there. So much confluence. All right. I'll just talk to y'all later. Go live 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Eastern. Check me out if you're new. Till then, respect the T. Hey.